Mary, see you a second.
Yes, Mr. Grant.
Mary, I'll be leaving shortly on my vacation. While I'm gone, I want you to take over.
Well, sure, Mr. Grant, but, Mr. Grant's office. Just a moment, please, I'll check. It's a Dr. Bundy's office?
Oh, yeah. No, I can't talk now. Tell him I'll call him back.
Can Mr. Grant call you back? Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Mary, don't take a message. I'll call him back.
Oh. Yes, I'll give him that message. Thank you. Mr. Grant, you're not going on vacation. You're going to the hospital.
Just give me the message, Mary.
The message is you are going to the hospital. The doctor said he got you the private room and he'll meet you at St. Matthew's at 7 o'clock.
Thank you. Now, Mary, I know you've never been fully in charge here before, but...
Mr. Grant! Is it serious?
Oh, just an old piece of shrapnel.
Shrapnel?
World War II.
Was it bad? I mean, where were you wounded?
Let's just say France.
But that had to be over 30 years ago. Why do you need the operation now?
I don't know. I guess it kind of shifted around, and now it's in sort of a funny place. And the doctor thinks you ought to get it out. It's really minor.
Why didn't you say anything until now?
Because I don't like a lot of sympathy. I don't want the cards. I don't want the flowers. I don't want the death watch. So please don't tell anyone.
Not even Murray?
Oh, Murray's okay, but don't tell Ted. Definitely not Ted.
Definitely not Ted what?
Oh, well, we were just discussing the budget problems, and I was asking Mr. Grant whose salary we could cut.
And he said definitely not Ted? Thanks, Lou.
What's going on? I got an announcement to make. All right, everybody, just a brief announcement. I am leaving today on a week's vacation. While I'm away, Mary will be producing the show. Now, I have complete confidence in her. I want you to treat her just like you treat me, with respect, trust, and a certain amount of fear. See you guys in a week.
Mr. Grant,
Huh?
take care, and listen, everything's going to be all right.
Right.
Have a nice time, Lou.
Thanks, Murray.
Where you going, Louis?
St. Matthew's.
That's a great place. I hear the beaches there are terrific. Don't forget to send me a postcard.
All right.
Newsroom. Oh, we'll have to talk to the producer about that. Hold on just a minute. Hello. Hi, Mr. Grant.
Hi, Mary.
Listen, I want to apologize for the flowers. I mean, I know you hate this kind of thing.
Yeah, I do.
Well, it's a hospital, and coming in empty-handed just, I don't know, it seemed wrong.
That's okay. Forget it. What you got in there?
A chocolate malt. I tell you, the last time I was in the hospital, all I could think about day and night was a chocolate malt.
You see, Mary, that's the difference between you and me. Since I've been in this hospital, I haven't once thought about a chocolate malt. How are things at the station?
Oh, fine. There is one thing, though. I did as you asked. I mean, I didn't tell anyone except Murray that you were coming.
Good.
To the hospital directly.
What do you mean directly?
Well, Ted overheard.
Oh, Mary.
He insisted on coming with me.
Oh. Well, where is he then?
Well, he's down the hall. He stopped to sign an autograph. Might take him a while, though. He was still explaining who he is.
You big lug. Telling everybody you're going on vacation when you're going into the hospital. Isn't this big lug something else? Didn't want to worry his old friends. How you feeling, you big lug?
Suddenly worse.
I thought it might... might cheer you up after the operation to watch the news. So, I got you one of these.
Oh.
Listen, Mr. Grant, I really have to be going. I have a date. I just stopped by to give you the...
Thanks, Mary.
So, Ted, I guess we better be going.
Oh, no, I'll stay for this ship. There's still 2.5 hours yet for visiting.
Ted, you came with me. How are you going to get home?
That's all right. I'll take a cab.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow, Mr. Grant.
See you,
Bye-bye.
man. Well, what are we going to do now, Lou? What do you say we watch TV? Let's turn on the old tube and watch Cronkite goof up.
I don't think so, Ted.
What's wrong with this remote control?
That's for my bed.
Whoa!
Ted.
Hey!
Ted.
Hey, isn't this fun?
Ted.
Ted! Oh. I'll tell you what, let's just sit and talk.
Ted. I feel sort of tired. I'd like to be alone.
Oh. Well, then you know what I ought to do? I ought to leave.
That'd be nice.
If you need any blood, don't worry. I checked. You and Mary have the same type.
Newsroom? Oh, well, is the crew there already? Uh-huh, just a second, let me check. Okay, listen, send the crew to Councilman Davis's news conference instead. Right, bye-bye.
Boy, you've really got things under control.
Well, so far, so good.
Yeah, you're doing everything just like Lou, but prettier. Except for one thing, you haven't checked my copy.
Oh, hey, come on, Maria.
Now go ahead, I insist. It's your job to go over my copy, even though you won't find anything wrong.
Oh, Murray, I don't...
Now go ahead, kid. You could use the experience. What's that?
Oh, just spelling. Just...
Oh, yeah. I transpose those E's and I's all the time.
Oh, well, it's I before E except after C.
Yeah. Thanks for catching it. Spelling again, huh?
Yeah, you spelled principal wrong. You want to know a good way to remember? The principal of your school is your pal, P-A-L.
Nice. Nice. This spelling again?
Oh, no, I don't know, it seems to me that calling a fire a raging inferno is, well, used a lot.
And what did you change Raging Inferno to?
Fire.
And that isn't used a lot? Terrific. Why didn't I think of that? Calling it a fire. F-I-R-E, fire. Did it hurt when they took that shrapnel out?
Not as much as one that went in.
I brought you flowers again, I'm sorry. I don't know, I don't seem to be able to help it.
Hello, Mary.
Hello.
Hello? So,
Well, Lou, I
how's
think...
everything?
Well, look, I better get going. I'm glad you're feeling okay.
Thanks for coming by, Murray.
Bye, Mary.
Bye, Murray. So how are you feeling, Mr. Grant?
Pretty good.
Oh, I'm glad. And I promise that's all the sympathy you're going to get out of me. No more.
Good. Say, what's with you and Murray?
Murray? Nothing. Everything's just fine. Is there anything I can do for you?
No. You already done enough for me by not bringing me a chocolate malt.
No.
Hiya, Lou. Hiya, Mary. Lou, I was talking to some of the nurses down the hall. You're going to live.
But I do get tired easily, and I shouldn't see people for very long.
Mary, maybe you'd better.
How are you feeling, Mr. Grant?
A little better.
He's fine. He's going to be all right.
We know. Mr. Grant, it's time for your shot.
Oh, well, listen, I've got to be leaving anyway. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Bye, Mary.
Wait a minute. Listen, nurse. I'd rather not have that shot when there's a woman in the room. I mean you. Look, why don't you just leave that here, and I'll give it to myself later. Really, I know how. I was with the Associated Press in Detroit.
I'll come back later.
Oh, fine.
Lou, here's a little something I picked up for you.
Ted, this is great scotch.
The best, top of the heather. Age 22 years.
Top of the heather, you know, I've always wanted a bottle of this. Who gave it to you?
Nobody gave it to me. I went down to Metropolitan Liquors and asked the man for the very best scotch he had. Oh, they made a mistake. They left the price tag on. Look at that, $24.
Ted, this isn't like you. You really went all out.
Well, when your best friend's in pain, you can't do too much.
Best friend?
Yeah?
I'm your best friend?
Yeah, I thought you knew that, Lou.
Ted, I holler at you a lot.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. There's Ted Baxter, the newsman, and Ted Baxter, the buddy. You don't yell at me, you yell at him.
Ted, let me ask you something. If I'm your best friend, who's your second best friend?
Oh, I don't know, maybe Murray, Barry. It's, I don't know, it's hard to say. Well, I guess I better be running along.
Ted,
Yeah.
why don't you stick around and have some scotch?
All right, guess I can spare a few minutes.
You wanna pour?
Okay.
Ted, boy, you're coming down here and the scotch and all. It's really something I appreciate.
Here's to a speedy recovery.
Thanks.
You know, you never told me how you got that injury, Lou.
What's to tell? It was World War II, France, grenade.
Those rotten nips.
Crowds.
Oh. Well, what do we do now, Lou? Say, would you like to play some cards?
No, I don't feel quite up to that.
I'll read to you. What if I read to you? Hey, this looks pretty good. The World of Health. You just relax. The World of Health. Published by Adirondack Publishing Company, 4817 North End Street, Syracuse, New York.
Ted, I think you can skip that part.
Okay, what do you say we skip right over to the table of contents? What sounds good to you? Tooth enamel, how to give it the brush, or the many myths about pancreatic fluids?
Oh, I don't know. What was that article about tooth enamel? That sounded kind of interesting.
Here it is right here. For centuries, man has known of the miraculous properties of tooth enamel. But not until recently was the evolution of these properties fully comprehended. To follow this evolution, step by step, we must begin with the tiniest
Microorganism.
until we reach that most complicated of living species, man himself.
Murray, I think that one of the reasons that you and I are having problems is because we're both concerned about which one of us is the boss. And Murray, it doesn't matter to me which one of us is the boss.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're upset because I've been checking your copy.
Not checking, Mary. Changing. You've been arbitrarily changing everything I've written with a squeaky magic marker.
Well, Murray, maybe it looks arbitrary to you, but it certainly isn't arbitrary to me.
I think I know more about this than you. I have been writing copy for 17 years. You've only been checking it for 4 days.
I am just trying to do what I think is right. Mr. My office. Hi. Yeah, he is. Hang on just a second. It's Marie.
Thank you. Hiya, honey. What? Oh, great. Yeah, that'll be fine. Well, look, I'll stop by the store and pick up some logs, so later we can sit in front of the raging inferno. Yeah, about 7 o'clock. Bye, honey. Now, as you were saying...
Okay, look, maybe unconsciously I have been a little, bossy, but Murray, honestly, it's just because I'm trying to do a good job of running this office, And part of that job is being the boss. I mean, look, you could just as easily be sitting behind that desk, and I could just as easily be sitting... You know what I mean?
Sure.
Aw, come on, Murray, you don't understand it all. Now, couldn't we just sit down and talk this out?
Okay.
Listen, I think that part of...
Oh, excuse me, Mayor. I just wanted you to know I just got back from the hospital. Everything's going to be hunky-dory. Lou's checking out tomorrow.
Oh, gee, that's good.
Getting chewed out by the boss again, Hummer.
All ready to go, Mr. Grant?
Yes, sister.
Oh, aren't you forgetting this?
Oh, yeah.
This explains a lot. The nurses have been wondering why you've been turning down the painkillers. Oh, by the way, I brought you this. It's the little piece of shrapnel that they cut out. Goodbye, Mr. Grant. Stay well now.
I think I will. People seldom throw grenades at me now.
Don't you want that, Lou?
I've had it.
You're not going to leave it here, are you?
You want it?
Can I?
It's yours. From one friend to another. Ted, I'm not what you call a physical person.
You're one heck of a man, Lou. One heck of a man.
Okay, Mr. Grant. In we go.
Do I have to?
Yes, Mr. Grant, it's the rule.
I'll do this first. You all set, Lou?
Why is it I suddenly feel like solving a crime?
Hi, buddy.
Hi, Ted.
Boy, it's great to see you back where you belong.
Well, thanks, Ted.
Here you are, old buddy.
What?
Little memento. Those good old days in the hospital.
Oh, Ted, that was very thoughtful of you. What is it?
It's a paperweight thing, had it made.
Here.
See, there's a piece of shrapnel. And the calendar with the day when you had the operation.
Uh-huh.
And the hospital ID bracelet.
Oh,
Because I didn't have time to have it inscribed yet.
boy, Ted, this is really something.
You wanted
Oh.
to see us, Mr. Grant?
Yeah, I did.
I'll just run along. I'll get this inscribed for you.
Ted, that was very thoughtful. Very thoughtful. It's a heck of a surprise.
There's a bigger surprise coming later. This is just one of those little things one pal does for another.
Oh, thanks, Ted. He's really a terrific guy.
Ted?
No, really. You don't know him like I do.
You wanted to see us, Mr. Grant?
Yeah. I watched the show last night, and I'd like to know how an associate producer who's been around here for 2 years can get things so fouled up?
Well, Mr. Grant,
Explain to me what? While I was hearing Ted's voice describing the arrival of the new water buffalo at the Minneapolis Zoo, I was watching film of the vice president returning from his trip. And Ted's voice saying, "And here's the big ox now, lumbering down the ramp with his handler."
I know, Mr. Grant.
You know that you have to check to make sure the films and the narration match.
I'm sorry. but
Sorry.
You see,
Mary, it wasn't her fault.
no, Murray, it's okay.
No, it isn't. She did a good job, Lou. Well, you did. And look, I'm sorry about all this.
Murray, listen, me too. I really...
Now, look, she was just covering for Ted, Lou.
Uh-huh. Listen, I think it's time we stopped blaming Ted for all our goof-ups.
Our goof up?
That's right. That's right. I think we've used him as the scapegoat long enough.
Scapegoats?
Scapegoat. Lou Grant. Yeah? Terrific. Terrific. All right. Get a crew right over there. If we hurry, we can get it on. Go on! Talk about the old Grant luck. And on my first day back.
What is it?
The police have 4 hold-up men trapped in the bank across the street. Right across the street! If we hurry, we can get it on film, and we'll be the only station in town to do it. What a welcome home present.
How's it coming, Murray?
I'll be just a second.
How's the film?
The crew said they got great stuff.
Leandro! Well, I hope Ted can handle that. I didn't have time to make all the words simple.
Knock that stuff off about Ted, Murray.
The industrials were up 3 points and rails were up 1.5. Volume on the New York Stock Exchange was 13,250,000 shares.
Here it comes.
I've just been handed this bulletin, but it'll have to wait.
What?
I have something that's more important than any bulletin could possibly be.
What could be more important?
I'd like to devote the closing 2 minutes tonight to a special tribute. A tribute to a heck of a guy.
What's he doing? Read the bulletin!
And who is that heck of a guy? Lou Grant. The guy I'm proud to call my friend. Lou Grant is back on the job tonight, and we're all the richer for it. For you see, Lou Grant happens to be the producer of this newscast. Lou was in the hospital this past week for a delicate operation. It was touch and go for a while, as a team of dedicated surgeons went about removing this from his body. Yes, Lou Grant spilled his blood on the battlefields of France so that we might all be free.
I'll spill his blood.
Lou Grant did his part for America. He gave everything he had, fighting the Axis menace. Now it's time for us to do our part. I personally, as of this moment, am boycotting sauerkraut. Bratwurst and Wiener Schnitzel. I urge you to do the same. Now it's true, many people may be saying, "Big deal, Ted, you don't like this stuff anyway." Well, that's true. But the point is, it's the thought that counts. So what do you say, Mr. and Mrs. Twin Cities? It's your turn to stand up and be counted. Don't do it for me. Do it for Lou Grant. And yourself. Oh, here he is now. Welcome back, Lou. Good news and good night.
Why'd you pull me off like that, Lou? I had 30 seconds of tribute left.
Ted, get in my office. Ted, get in there and stay there until I come in.
Yes, Lou.
I think you two better get out of here.
Mr. Grant, don't you think you ought to cool off a little before you talk to Ted? Why don't you wait until morning?
Mary?
Good night.
See you, Lou.
She's right. Morning better.